You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
Okay, WheelWOD Nation, 16.5, last one. This has been a blast. The competition is super tight. The way this is going to end, you can't ask. I couldn't tell you. The race for second place in the RX women is crazy. Cindy hasn't wrapped up for the females. I think even with a 5th place finish, she still hasn't wrapped up. So great job, Cindy. For the guys RX and the guys scaled and the women's scaled, the race, it could go to anybody. Depending on how this workout goes, it could go to anybody. There's enough points out there on the board to knock anybody out. So right away going in, you saw last night, it's a redo of 14.5. When I did this in 2014, I actually did in-chair burpees, hop my chair over a bar, back and forth, and then did shoulder press. We won't do that. We'll save that one maybe for next year or the year after. This year, for the RX men and women, we're going to go shoulder press, 75-45. And push-ups, 2 a box, 8-inch box or a 4-inch box, 8-inch for the guys, 4-inch for the girls, and over. So those push-ups will be touch, 2 hands on the box, touch your chest each time on either side. So we touch our chest, we put 2 hands on the box, we're over, that's 1 rep, back and forth. Rep scheme, 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3, 4 times. So it's going to be your final time. If you don't finish, you don't get a score. So if it takes you 3 hours, it takes you 3 hours, at least you get a score. And if you don't finish this, your score is 0. You get no time. Moving over to the scale, we're not going to change it up too much. We want to keep this one really good. So we're going with a shoulder press again, but at 45-15. And then we're going to floor to box and over. So yes, you're going to get out of your chair. First time in the open, we've asked the scale division to get out of their chair. It's going to be at an 8-inch box, and a 4-inch box, or a 4-inch mat, and an 8-inch mat, whatever you come up with. We do need to show in the video the weights. So we'll have to come over and show the weights on the bars. We're going to have to show the weight on the bar. We're going to have to show the height of the boxes. All right, so we'll need to show all those pieces in the box. And again, the rep scheme is 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3. Okay, so the first movement is shoulder press for the scale division and for the RX, just the weights change. So here we have a 15-pound bar set up with 15-pound plates on there. So we got 45. This would be a good setup for guys. If you don't have a 15-pound bar and you just have a 45-pound bar, that's no problem too. The biggest thing is we don't have to pick them up from the floor. You can pull from a rack or you can pull from a setup like this, but it can't be set up that the bars, so they're stacked like this, so they're in my pressing position and it's still touching the boxes. So we want it set up here. I can clearly show the weights are free, I'm holding them, and it's below my chin. So that's where we have to bring the bar back down to at the bottom, it's below the chin. And then we press the full lockout overhead, coming back down, full lockout overhead, coming back down each time. So, consider not a rep. Pretty simple. Not a rep, right? And then lockout over top. It has to be a full, controlled lockout over top. Also not a rep. Right? It never came back below my chin. And to be a really bad rep would be, I don't clear either. I don't lock out, and I don't come below my chin. So it's got to be below the chin, lockout overhead. Rep scheme 21, 18, 15, 12, and so on. All the way down to 3. For the women, it'll be the 15-pound bar, so we can bring this height up. These are 8-inch boxes sitting on top of a 20, which is a good height for me. You can bring these up to 12-inch boxes. Same rule applies. So the bar cannot be sitting flat on the boxes from the initial press position. It's got to have space, so you have to show that it's clear and you're in control of it. Right, so here it is, it's clear. It's not touching the boxes at the bottom. So if it were to be touching at the boxes at the bottom in each press, because this still wouldn't be considered good. Right, I've got to clear it, then wrap. The same goes. So 15-pound bar for the ladies, 45 for the guys. You obviously have to get down out of your chair. There's lots of different ways to do this. I would suggest use a box or have another box if you want to get onto the box and then onto the floor. For me, the easiest way for me to do this is I just grab this box and put my hand on the box, my hand on the chair, and I just sit down and I do the same thing to get back up. Okay, scale division. For the guys, 8-inch box, floor to box transfers, and for the girls, 4-inch box or plate or mats will be something that measures up to 4 inches. So in the video, you're gonna have to show, if you have mats like I do here to be able to sit on, that's fine, but the box sits up on the mats. So you have to show the measurement of the box height. This is an 8-inch box. I take it the measurement before the WOD starts and I'd say, show the 8 inches, and then we're good to go. So we couldn't, one thing we can't do is we can't have this 2-inch mat or 1.5-inch mat and put the box down behind it. It's got, if you're gonna use a mat, it's gotta be even on both sides and the box has to be the right height, so from the mat up. We could use, for the ladies, if you don't have a 4-inch plate or you wanna have something a little softer, or even guys, you could stack these types of mats or other mats that you have in your box, so you can stack these up at 8 inches as well. Completely fine. What's gonna happen? You start in a seated position on the floor, so you'll get down out of your chair, onto the floor. You can use help for that. You can use other benches or boxes to get down to this spot, and then you're going to transfer up on the box and back down, and that's 1 rep. So each time you go up and back down is a rep. So there's 1. You have to sit tall on the box to the floor again. Make sure your butt touches the floor, and then back up. You sit tall on the box to the floor. So what wouldn't be a rep? I'm here, I start on the ground. This is not a rep. Yes, I'm touching my butt to the box, but I'm not sitting tall. You want to come to full extension at the top, and then back down to the floor. Right? Another thing that wouldn't be a rep is not actually getting down. So we could get up, and we sit tall, and then I just kind of do this kind of thing. I don't go all the way down. I'm not touching the ground, I'm trying to buzz back up, and if you can see from where I'm at here, I'll try to give you a better angle. So I'm here, and I don't touch. So look at, I still haven't made contact to come all the way down. I come to here, and then I go back to the box. Yes, I'm clear of the box, but I don't sit on the box. So for a full rep, sit tall, and I'm back down, and then up and down. So the rep actually is counted when you come to the top of the box. So this is where there's 1 rep, there's 2 reps, and so on. Alright, as always, my tip to you for the setup, we're using the box method or the floor, whatever you're using, side by side. So here we are for like a scaled setup. Got my presses, and I can quickly transition to my box transfers. Still in the shot, right? And back, and this nice little clever piece right here. So we got the clock right here. What a great spot for it. Right up in front. You're not worried about trying to get it in the wall and behind. Just get a phone running right here in the front, or another little clock, or even the one off your wall if you wanted to, and run a cord across, whatever you want. But right out in front, super simple, super easy. So, RX division, men. Here I have set up a 35 pound, 6-foot bar, 15 pound plates, 5s on the side, 75 pounds. I've got it set up on boxes. There's going to be a couple options. If you really want to, you can pull it from the floor, or you can set it on lower boxes and clean it. The big deal that we're going to have to see is that it's fully clear first. So my rep can't come from the box straight overhead. I can't come from here, put it on, and touch. I have to come in, show it's above, then press, and come below chin. So I'm coming below my chin before I go back up. No reps would look like didn't show the bar. I locked out over top and I came below chin, but I didn't clear the bar. I'm pushing it from the box up. Also, no rep would look like this. That's not a rep. I didn't lock out overhead, so I've got to be able to show it's clear, lock out overhead, come below chin. Another no rep would look like this. So I clear it, I lock out, and I don't get below my chin. I might even get to my chin, but I don't get below my chin to start the next rep. Other options, like we said, you can pull from a lower box, clean it up, press it, or we'll show you from the rack. Option number 2 or 3, depending on which ones you're listening to, for the press. So we can come off a rack. This is how I used to do it. It may still go this route. You come in, you're going to want to have a spotter, someone you can hand the bar back to, or in any case, you might want someone behind you to make sure your chair's not going to flip. I have wheels on the back that will give me a good aid not to, but it's always nice to have someone behind you, give you a little bit of support. So I pop the bar off, I'm below the chin, I'm free, I press overhead. Press overhead, and then in between reps, we can bring it back down. So you could, technically, when you get tired, we come off, we're clear, we press up, and then I can pass it back. So I don't have to come back down to my chin. To finish the rep is just at the top. You count at the top, and then you can bring it back down and go again, or you can press it up, and then put it back on the rack. Your choice. Same here, right? Get it clear on the boxes before the press, and then we press it up. You can just come down to the box if you need to, in between rep. Then before the next one, you got to get it clear again, show it's clear, and then up. So it can't be directly pressed from the rack. Same thing if this rack, I can't do this. I couldn't set the bar up here and just press it straight off the rack and overhead. I'd have to make sure that I either get clear from the rack, press it, or, well, you're gonna have to get clear from the rack, because if you try to press it underneath the rack, you're either gonna hit here or hit the clip. Either way, not safe. You want to clear away from the rack, press, and go. Something we haven't talked about a lot, because we haven't done anything real heavy overhead in a barbell form, is bailing. Backwards isn't the way to go. Right? It's your last option, and hopefully you'll have a spotter that can help you out there. So we don't want to try to throw the bar backwards. Most likely you're going to go chair with it. So if I were to bail this and I wasn't able to get it back to Todd, I'm here, say I do a couple reps. Right, I do a couple reps and I'm stuck. To bail it is not to go this way. Not a good idea. To bail it, to lean forward and drop it out the front. And if really need be, try to control it to the lap and down. But at 75 pounds, it's a lot to take from the takedown, dropping it to the lap, right? Clean it, come back down on here hard, could hurt you as well. So you're much better, you're here, press it up, you got nowhere to go, you're tired, you don't think you got another rep, just bring it to the front, let it go. Super safe. And then always, even better, if you got a spotter, and you pass it back to them, keep it on the rack, save you a bit of time, but also save you possibly a headache. So that's the movements. For the scale division, it's the exact same option. You can come off the rack with a 45-pound bar or 15 and 15s, and then for the women, the 15-pound bar. The weight for the RX females is 45, so you can set up 35 with 5s or the 15 with the 15s as well. Let's have a good one. Last one. Looking forward to it. All right, RX division. The sub for the burpee box over, the adaptation of the burpee box over. Same deal. You can get down on the floor however you need to. Same with getting up. So you could use your box to get up, or you can use a bench to get up, or you could use someone's shoulder to get up. We're not going to ask you to do Florida chairs and burn that energy as well. So you get down to the floor, and then when you get down here, knees will have to touch on the push-up. So if you have longer pants or a mat or knee sleeves, something to save your knees a bit, it's not a bad idea. And you're going to start 8-inch box. So we have an 8-inch box. I show in the measurements again. I show that that's an 8-inch box. And I'm going to have to start chest touching the ground and push up. Touch the chest on the other side. I'm up, over, up, over, up, and so on. Ooh. These can be done plyo. So like if you really wanted to jump to the box and jump over, that's fine. Hand snap over, that's fine. Key to the rep is chest has to touch on either side. Questions are going to come up. Do we have to hit full extension at the top of the push-up before we go over? No. So if you really wanted to, the only thing that's going to be considered not a rep is if your chest doesn't touch on either side. So if you really wanted to, chest touches, you want to keep a bent arm, that's fine. Chest just has to touch on either side, and both hands have to touch the box. So jumping over the box, no good. One hand on the box and over, no good. Both hands have to touch and chest has to touch. So no reps would look like, I don't even know if I could jump over the box, but a no rep would look like mainly would be up, right? So I went over and back, and I never brought my chest back down. So I gotta touch to start. All right, so I touch to start. 2 hands on the box, off. So just one is no good either. So only things to count through reps. Touch the chest and over is 1, touch the chest and back is 2. Don't touch the chest, no rep. On either side, or if only one hand touches the box, no rep as well. For the ladies, we're going to use a 4-inch height. So options could be a plate. We've got these mats here. Now it's a little wider than a box, so we can turn it on an angle. So hands, 1, 2, and down. And down. Or you have the option of like a 45-pound plate or a couple plates stacked the same. It could be used the same. Knees have to be touching. If you don't have knees, closest point to those knees need to be touching. So if you're double leg amp just above the knee, have the stump touch on the push-up. So no having to lock out at the top of the push-up before you go over. But you do have to touch chest, and 2 hands do have to touch the box each time. So before you start your video, obviously we showed you the placement, but we're gonna have to come over and show the heights. So here we go. We show the height of the mat at the 4-inch. Got it. Same thing, we come over for the guys, we're gonna show the 8-inch box. Boom, there it is. We show the weights. So we're gonna come over to the weights as we have been the entire time, and we're gonna say 15, 5, 35. We're gonna come to the other side. We're gonna show the weights. 15, 5, 35. Same thing for all the other ones. Wherever the weights are set up at, you'll show that way. Okay? Good to go? So RX, the setup. Got my box. I can do my push-ups here, right? My hands, the box can stay on the mat because I'm at the same height. It's actually going a little higher when you think about where your knees are. So I would say, take the mat out, but doable. Push-up, hand, push-up. Right here for the press. Got this good little clock set up in the front, and if I were to go to the rack, I could easily do the same setup. Get Coach Todd to just angle the camera a bit. I can go to the same setup, and here I am on my rack. Boom, press. Right out of my chair, push up. Back into my chair, press. So, for those Florida chairs, getting in and out, you can use the box to get in and out. You could use a higher box. You could have something else set up if you wanted to. You could have another bench here to go from the floor. So you're not killing yourself every time doing a floor to chair transfer in between. You have a little bit of an aid. If you wanted to use, I've seen some people use like a partner with them, and they get their arm on their shoulder and they help them to the chair. That's fine as well. We're not going to take any points or anything against that. All we need to see is the push-up, chest touches on the box, 2 hands on the box, chest touches, and then the presses. Free and clear, lockout overhead, below chin. Simple, simple. We're done.